Have you ever had a person in your life, maybe they've been at work or school, you know that they don't like you, and they constantly come out with backhanded compliments. They want you to feel a type of way. Kill them with kindness. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yolanda Melody. Today I want to talk about the power of kindness. And when I say power, I mean power. Power. I'm going to give you the tools to completely and utterly disarm someone with kindness. For anyone who doesn't know, I am a Libra. I have spent most of my life avoiding conflict. On my channel, I talk a lot about having strength, standing up for yourself, and those are important factors to note. There are some situations where the best thing to do is to walk away, and in absolutely dire situations where someone is viciously on the attack, kindness doesn't work in every scenario. However, what I'm going to talk about is how to stop these situations from manifesting into anything bigger. These techniques can be used in early stages of bullying. They can often be used if you're in a situation where there is a drunk person coming at you, or if someone just seems to be having a really bad day or getting really defensive or trying to wind you up. These are the type of situations that I'm talking about. A lot of people are on the defense most of the time. Depending on the area that you live in, people may not be that friendly. In the past, I have hung out in some really dire areas where people are not just mean, but dangerous. If you sense a little twang in my accent, you can probably guess those areas. But what a lot of people need to realise is that the reason why people are on the defence is because they're preempting an attack. Or maybe they're just moody AF. Either way, when you act in kindness, because it's so rare nowadays, it can actually be very disarming, but in a positive way, because people aren't expecting it. And another thing to note is that when you do act in kindness, it must be teamed with full conviction, a sense of power, and it cannot be coming from a place of weakness. Because people can sense that vibe, and when you're being kind because you feel weak, people know that they can take advantage of that. Now, a lot of people might feel like that is a bit of a contradiction. How can you be kind and powerful at the same time? Well, it's simple. When you act in authenticity, it is powerful. No matter what emotion you're conveying, if it's authentic, it sends out a signal that you know yourself. One of the reasons why I've had to hone this skill is because in my real life, I've had to deal with situations where people are acting out because they're jealous. I've also put myself in a lot of situations that have been potentially dangerous. So I'll give you a few real life examples. And as usual, it's gonna be a nightclub story. I love how all these spiritual teachers talk about, oh, well, I was on a walk on the mountains and I saw a bird. And then I'm always just here talking about when I was in the club. But in my defense, nightclubs are probably one of the most dangerous places that you can go, especially nowadays. So yeah, a few years ago, I was with a group of people in an area where there were 2 nightclubs. If we didn't get into one of those nightclubs, we would be on the streets and we would have to go home. So me and my friend were drawing out money. The rest of the group said that they were going to meet us at the club. We'd drawn our money. We were walking towards the club and suddenly we noticed our group is coming back. And we were like, why are you coming back? I thought you were queuing up. And the whole group just turned around and said, oh, we can't get in because one of the girls in the group had kicked off at the bouncer over something so minute and so stupid. And the whole group just assumed, oh, we're gonna have to go home. Like, none of us can get in now because this girl has kicked off. But me being me, I was like, no, we're gonna go back to the club. I'm gonna speak to the bouncer. And we're all gonna get in. And everyone was like, no, don't even bother. We've been barred. Blah-de-blah-de-blah. Anyway, so we get to the door. The bouncer that had previously told them that they couldn't get in was actually really upset about some of the things that this girl had been saying to him. And I stood there and I listened to what he had to say. I was completely calm, I showed so much empathy, and I was profusely apologetic. In all fairness, nobody knew that girl too well anyway. For a lot of people in the group, it was the first time that they'd actually met this girl, and I explained this to the bouncer, and because I was so calm and so empathetic, the bouncer not only let me in, but he let the group in, and he let me and my friend in for free. So that is a situation where I could have done two things. I could have taken the defensive approach. I could have went up to the bouncer all defensy and stuff and being mean, but instead I chose to be completely humble, calm and kind. So that worked in one situation. However, the bouncer was not actually directly going on an attack towards me. So let's talk about a few other examples. Let's talk about haters and bullies, which are essentially the same thing. Have you ever had a person in your life, maybe they've been at work or school, you know that they don't like you for whatever reason, they're bitchy and they constantly come out with backhanded compliments. Firstly, you're not stupid. You know that that person is deliberately giving you a backhanded compliment, and that person wants to get a rise out of you. They want you to feel a type of way. That is their goal. So if you come back to them and get all defensive and show that you know what they're doing, it can often backfire because you're giving them what they want. They want you to be upset. They want you to recognize what they're doing. But how annoying would it be if you turned round, pretended like you took it as a complete compliment and said, "Oh, thank you so much," with full conviction? Kill them with kindness. I've had haters before, on the internet for example, that have left me a hate comment, and I've somehow managed to turn it around so that they're then apologising to me. This has happened quite a few times because what I've done is I haven't took the bait. The attacker is expecting a certain reaction from you, and when you come back to them with the polar opposite reaction that they're expecting, it shocks them because they're not prepared for it. Another thing that disarms them is that most people have low self-esteem, and because of that, they don't tend to be very good with taking compliments. And if someone is trying to insult them, they will notice. They will be able to read between the lines because they already think that way of themselves. But what can disarm this person is if you respond to their attack with kindness. It's basically saying to them that you think highly of yourself. And it gets them even more that while they're trying to show the ugliness inside them, you still choose to see the good in them. And that is powerful. Also, on a spiritual level, when you do acts in kindness, you're vibrating on a very high level. And I've seen enough proof in my life to say that when you are vibrating at that high level, you have a certain level of spiritual protection because you're not choosing to engage with that low vibe. A lot of people don't even know why they act a certain way, and that's a little scary. With me, I just call it demonic possession. Say it how it is. And what happens is, with demons, they want your energy through attention. Whether it's good or bad attention, it doesn't matter, it feeds them. And by choosing not to engage and not to focus on what they're doing, and by continuing to focus on yourself, it disarms them. And majority of the time, they will walk away and find another victim. I'm not the one. Okay, so that was a very, very short video, I think. I don't know. I am super duper 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 tired. This ring light is just, it's too much for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it gave you some good vibes. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to drop it a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Love you, bye!